Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey there guys, so I'm back with episode 3 of Book of Boba Fett, The Streets of Mos Espa, directed by Robert Rodriguez. Now, the episode is frustratingly good. I think there's stuff I thought it was great, but there's some stuff I was like, why? Now, the episode kind of starts off with like Boba Fett, who's going to Mos Espa because there's a gang that's half human, half machine, that's stealing water, causing chaos to Mos Espa, and Boba Fett recruits them. I wasn't expecting that, and I really liked it with the character, and like the fact the person who told Boba Fett to sort this out, he kind of like, no, I sorted it out. Here's the money you asked for. Originally, that was fine. We also got a flashback sequence with a really short flashback sequence. It only goes on for like 5 minutes. So basically, he heads off to speak to the Pike Syndicate about sorting out protection. In order to do so, he needs to get rid of the other party, so the Tusken Raiders, that particular native of Tusken Raiders, get their pay. Unfortunately, when he comes back, the Tusken Raiders are all killed. Maybe they might survive. Maybe there might be a bit of a plot twist. So this episode is going to be more present day stuff than flashback stuff, and what I'm realising, it's not just the flashback sequence. The flashback stuff is important to the character, but also I think it's going to intertwine with the present day stuff nicely, especially what we got at the last minute of the episode. Now, we also got an assassination attempt on Boba Fett when he's in the back to tank, waking up, because you got Black Cuss Satan, I think I'm saying that right. He tries to kill Boba Fett. Luckily, the street gang comes in. The Gamorreans come in to help him, and luckily Black Cuss Satan is trapped in the Rancor pit with no Rancor. And the one scene I really liked was Boba Fett telling him when one of the pig guards got really injured. I think he got bitten by a shoulder. He's like, get him in the back to town. I love that stuff. Now, the next day, they get a visitor from the Jabba's late cousins, the twins. They come to their senses. We don't want to get involved anymore. We're going back to our place, which is cool. There's another syndicate, and this also affects the mayor, Mok Shaiz. I like the fact they decided to give him a gift, which is a Rancor, which is nice, and it also comes with Danny Trejo, which kind of made sense because if you know, Danny Trejo has worked with Robert Rodriguez numerous times. I mean, countless films with him, so it kind of makes sense. I mean, and there's this moment where Boba Fett is like bonding with the Rancor. We realise that Rancor aren't just like vicious monsters. They're kind of like dogs in a way. They can be civilized. They're very emotional, complex creatures, and that's what I love. I love the fact that Boba Fett wants to train him and ride on him. And we also get a nice Easter egg to Dathomir, which is pretty cool. So later on, Boba Fett goes ahead off to see Mok Shaiz. He's not there. Unfortunately, his assistant tries to make an escape. And it comes down to this. The lamest, most cheap chase sequence in Star Wars. Especially, I mean, there were points when I thought, oh, they're going quite fast. But at times I thought, if I could jog, I could easily catch them up. It didn't look that exciting. And especially when you get like streets like these, they're very condensed. So there's not a lot you can do with them. But the Vespers, I hated them. I really hated the speeder bike Vespers. I didn't mind the gang. It's the fact that it was different coloured. I can't believe I'm saying this, and I don't like to mention it, but it looked so Power Ranger-y, how they were different colours. And if they had one more, I think that would have just been the cherry on top. But yeah, the chase sequence was very... At times it looked good, but at times it looked really cheap. And I just didn't like it. If it was a proper speeder bike, not like a Vespa, it actually looks like a Vespa if you took the wheels, or if you gave it wheels. I don't know about that. But anyway, we learn that Mok Shaiz is working with the Pikes, and you see a bunch of Pikes arriving to Mos Espa. And of course, this is where the war starts. I mean, yes, I like the fact that twins, like at episode 2, comes in, and then by the beginning of episode 3, they're like, nah, fuck this, we're going. The episode is enjoyable enough. I don't mind the episode. I know a lot of people who don't like this episode. Once you get the whole Vesper stuff out of the way, it's enjoyable enough. It sets up character, it sets up story nicely. And I like the fact that Boba Fett gave Black Casatan a chance. He's like, actually, I'll let you off. Go and you was just doing your job. And I think he will come back later on to work with Boba Fett. That's what I'm thinking. I love the Rancor stuff. I think that was my favourite stuff from the episode. There's some really cool stuff, but as an episode of Robert Rodriguez, and he's the guy who reintroduced the character to the new canon of Star Wars, I thought this episode was kind of disappointing, and I'm hoping we'll get another episode with someone like Dave Filoni or Bryce Dallas Howard or Jon Favreau directing, because I cannot wait for that. But yeah, overall, it was a good episode.